Ah, there you are. Good, right. Now, let's sort this out.
Well...
what do you tell it? It's gone wrong.
Yes, it
You're the project manager.
Yes, I am
Yes,
the project
indeed.
manager.
And I've just had a meeting with the client, and she is far from happy.
Well, yes, I can
I've
understand.
had to give all sorts of grovelling apologies, and I've got to put this right. So what are you going to do about this? What is the problem? Well, in fact, don't give me the problem. I just want it sorted.
Well, I don't know if
What do you mean you
can
don't know?
sort
You're the
it.
project manager.
Well, I know precisely what the problem is.
Well, in that case, go and sort it out.
Okay.
For goodness sake. Muriel?
So, Juliet, what are the good things that happened in that meeting that means that you can follow on with a good meeting with James?
Not sure really. I mean, I can let him know that Lynn is cross and that Jonathan is cross, but I mean, I've still got to do exactly what I would have been doing even without this meeting.
So, do you feel that you've moved forward?
Not really. I mean, Jonathan asked me what the problem was, but then didn't want to hear the answer. So I'm where I was before, really.
So, do you feel that Jonathan didn't listen to you then?
Well, he didn't listen at all. He just wanted to be furious, which is understandable. But I don't know that we needed the meeting in addition to him having yelled at me down the phone.
Right. Okay. So. Let's see what Jonathan has to say about the meeting, how he felt that it went. So, Jonathan, how did you feel the meeting went with Juliet just now?
Well, I think I gave her a clear sense of urgency, and I've moved the thing forward.
So, when you say you've moved it forward, what do you think is going to happen now Juliet's been moved forward?
Well, I think she'll go away and come back with a proper plan.
Do you think there's any other ways that you may have been able to help her do that?
Well, I know she has trouble speaking to James. James can be quite difficult. But still, she's the project manager.
And what are the things that you may have been able to help her with that might help her have that conversation with James?
Well, I could have given her some help with how to deal with James sometimes. I mean, I find him pleasant enough, but I know she doesn't get on with him so well.
Yeah. And if I might just make a couple of observations, you didn't really seem to listen to what Juliet was saying, so it came across as quite a push, quite directive in what you were saying and demanding. How do you feel about that?
Well, I like to set clear goals.
Would it, you think, be helpful to Juliet possibly to let her speak and you listen to what she's saying?
Well, it did occur to me after the meeting that actually I still don't know what the problem is.
Right. So what would have helped to have found, what would you do that would help you find out what that problem is?
Well, I was quite impatient, so I think it would have helped if I'd asked her a couple of questions. And I started to, but perhaps I didn't wait for the answer.
So, how do you feel about having this meeting again and maybe taking on board some of that feedback around asking the question, listening a little bit more, maybe not being quite as directive? See what happens with the meeting then.
So get a bit more from her, you mean?
Yeah.
All right, I could try that. Juliet, Jonathan, I've just had a conversation with Water Utilities. Could we have a quick discussion about that, please? Okay, yeah, now would be good. All right then, see you in a moment.
Jonathan,
you?
I'm fine, and yourself?
Good, yeah. Busy. I've just come back from seeing Lynn, and we seem to have missed a deadline on the project.
Yes, we have, yes.
As I understand it, you're the project manager.
I am, and I am aware that we have missed this deadline, and I'm very concerned, and I'm trying to chase things up to make sure that we can get the report to them as swiftly as possible.
Trying to chase things up.
Yeah, the problem sits in the resourcing side.
Right.
So I need James in engineering to release 2 surveyors to help us with the geophysical technical side of the survey.
And what's the problem now?
Well, he committed originally, has at no point let me know that there's a problem, but at the same time isn't releasing anybody to come and work on the project. He has all the MSP, the schedule. He can see all of the tasks and where we are. So he must be aware of the fact that we have gone past the schedule at this stage.
Have you spoken to him recently?
I have left him voicemail messages. I have emailed him, and I'm just getting no response from him.
Are you going to go and see him?
Well, I'll have to.
Okay. Meanwhile, this delay is occurring.
Yes.
And Lynn was not aware of the reasons, and I wasn't aware. So, who are you telling about all this?
Well, I should have spoken to you about the problem. I mean, we've only just gone past the final deadline, but there are a number of days from now till the completed report.
Okay.
So, I mean, I've been spending a lot of time sort of chasing James for the resource just to get things moving.
All right. Well, there's something that's very important about keeping me in the picture if we're actually going to overrun the deadline. The client has not been kept in the picture either, so that's something we need to put right as soon as possible.
Yes.
I'm going back to Lynn tomorrow. Meanwhile, it would be sensible for you to make sure you're keeping the client in the picture. But the immediate problem is that we need to speak to James and get the resources sorted.
Yes. Yes. I mean, that's the one thing that's holding up the report.
So you're going to go and see him?
Yes, I'll do that. I mean, how effective that will be, I don't know.
Well, let me just understand here. What is the issue, that he hasn't got the resources, or the fact that you're not quite sure he's going to listen to you ask for them?
To be honest, I don't know, in that he has given no response to any of the emails that I've sent him.
Okay.
And I did start flagging up the fact that we were going to need the resource in advance of the schedule. Got no response, and I have been trying to get a response from him ever since. But so I don't know why he's being so unhelpful.
Right. Well, it seems to me that what we have to do here is find out whether this is an ongoing resource issue, whether he just hasn't appreciated the urgency. So how are you going to convey to him the message that this really is important? I mean, there are a number of things I do, obviously. I mean, I think the thing with James is that you've got to not let him interrupt you, because he likes a laugh, doesn't he? So you have to keep making the point to him. You have to make it clearly, and you have to tell him again to make sure he's heard of it.
Right.
So, you've got to be forceful.
Okay.
And then he'll be fine. So make sure he's heard what you need, and tell him again.
Right. Okay.
Is that all right? Would that be helpful?
Well, I can certainly give that a try.
Don't mention his partner.
Okay.
So you're going to do that. Can you do that this afternoon? I have to get back to Lynn tomorrow morning.
I'm going to do that as soon as possible, as soon as I can get some time in his diary.
Well, don't take no for an answer.
No, I won't, and I shall keep going. Okay. Probably back off too easily with him.
Well, maybe you do. So give it another go.
Will do.
All right.
Thank you.
Carry on.